Alright, welcome to KnifeTest.com. Alright, today we're going to be doing a head-to-head shootout between two military bayonets. We have the U.S. military M9 here, and then we have its Russian counterpart, the bayonet. Let's look at the Russian one first. There we go. As far as I know, this is a stainless steel, some type of stainless steel. Don't know what it is. Some type of Russian material. Don't know much about it really. Got some type of plastic type handles on it. Let me see. Let's look at the M9. Now I know a little more about this one than I do about the Russian one. This is a LAN K. There's a lot of different people make these. Whoever gets a contract, I guess. This one's made out of a modified 420 HC stainless steel. And it's definitely a lot heavier than the Russian model, as you can see. The Russian model's pretty thin. This one's a lot thicker. They both have the cutters on them. Now basically the same same design. Saws is pretty similar between them. So we're going to try everything out here today. We're going to cut. We'll do some barbed wire cutting. We'll do the usual test. Plus we'll do maybe some different. We'll do some different tests that we haven't done before. We'll see what they can do. Okay, we'll start with the Russian model first. We'll do one test with the Russian model, then we'll do the next test with the M9. So you're going to get to see two of them here at the same time, something that we haven't done before. We'll go ahead and start with our apple peeling test. Now neither one of these things have any type of edge on them. I mean, they're dull as hell, but and so let's go see what we can do with what we have. Tell you one thing. Definitely have zero edge on them, man. Yeah, I'm not even peeling it, I'm just slicing it off, man. Because you can always put another edge on them, but this is the way they came, and that's the way we usually prefer to do the test, since these are destruction tests mainly. Well, hell. Alright, let's try the M9. These are definitely, let's see what we got. Well, these are actually the worst apple peelers that we've done yet to date. Definitely a little bit easier with the M9, with the edges that they give you on these. Let's just go ahead and cut the apple. Alright, well, not fantastic. Go ahead and use the Russian to do this with the other one that we peeled. Well, yeah, as you can see, I mean, these things have 0 edge on them, but you can always put them on there. But anyways, these things weren't made for peeling apples, so let's see what else we can do with them. Okay, well, one of the functions of these knives is to cut barbed wire. So we've got some high tensile string barbed wire that I bought, and so we'll go ahead and see how well they both do it. See how much we can cut with it. I'm not going to spend all night here cutting barbed wire, but give me an idea, at least see it in action. Alright, we'll go ahead and start with the M9. And the thing is, when you do this, you'll never want to put your thumb right here at this location when you do that. Because if you're pressing down on this and you're pushing, and this breaks up here, well, there goes your thumb. You always got to hold it down here and make sure it's down here near the bottom where it's clear. Alright, let's see how this works. That was easy. It works pretty well. Got some more. Give it a good squish. Press on through. Now let's try the Russian model. See what the difference is. It doesn't take too much pressure to get through the barbed wire using the M9. A little bit of force, but not much. Alright, let's go to the Russian model. This stuff sticks. It's caught on you really quick. Man. Man, can't do it with the Russian model. on, man.
USA.
Can't do it. Won't shear it, man. Man. Well, go. Let's try it again. Man, we're just not even, we're putting a dent on it, and that's about it. You're just not getting through it. Ain't gonna work. Well, I wouldn't want to be on the battlefield with this barbed wire cutter. Because you ain't gonna freaking do it. Not with the stuff we're using, I guess. This is some high tensile strength barbed wire that I bought. And, man, I just won't go through it. Go ahead and try the M9 again. The M9 has no problem. Yeah, well, the barbed wire cutter on the M9 works really great, but on this Russian model here, it just does not want to work. Go ahead and try the Russian one more time. But I don't think it's going to happen. Doesn't have the power, sharpness to get through it. I'm pressing it with every damn thing I have. If that thing slips, man, I'm going to get hurt. Man, this thing got to do it. Alright, well, so far, as far as that barbed wire cutter is concerned, the M9 is far superior, without a doubt. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and do some chopping. We'll go ahead and start with the M9 first. Now, the Russian model is definitely a lot lighter weight than the M9. And of course, neither one of these have a edge or a dam on them. So, but we'll see what we can do with it anyways in its present condition. Alright, here we go. It's going to take a while to get through that 2x4, I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and speed things up. Let's go ahead and try the Russian model of chopping. You can work. Just give me another 2x4 and I'll just try to chop it with that. Man.
I gotcha. Maybe we should just try to chop bananas.
I bet I'm better like karate chopping. Well, the M9, even though these are not sharp, and I keep saying that, but these are not sharp. So, but still, the A9 is definitely going to have a lot more chopping power than this Russian, even if it's sharp. Just a bigger blade, much heavier, and it's just going to be much better. Well, tell you what, let's go ahead and see how well these saws on the back cut through some wood. If I try to chop through this, it's going to be here all night. Go ahead and try the M9 first. Yeah, you can see the notch we made. It's going to be very, as far as the wood saw is concerned, it does do it, but it's not very effective. But all we did is make some notches. Go ahead and try the Russian model. Here we go. The Russian model is cutting in better into the wood than the M9. Try the M9 again. you gotta see about the depth. That's about what you're gonna be able to do in wood. Let you spend all day there. Now the saws on these are more like kind of more like a hacksaw than anything, and so we're gonna try these out on some metal. Now, I was already out here once before when I got the Russian model in. I cut through some a little bit of chain link fence I saw through, and I cut through a piece of chain link. So we'll do it again on camera this time. And we'll also try it with the M9. Okay. Now I've got some chain here. Steel chain. And we'll see if we can cut a link using the saw. And I did this on the Russian one already, but it was off camera. Go ahead and try the Russian one first. Getting close to getting through it. Just wants to jump out of there. See the cut we've made in it. Pull back, pull back. Alright, we're through. Just bend the chain. There we go. Severed our chain. Alright, now let's repeat the test with the M9. Okay. Alright, now we just cut through with the Russian bayonet on the saw, so let's go ahead and try the M9. Same test. I haven't ever tried with the M9 yet, so let's find out what happened. working pretty well. It's working a lot faster than the Russian model. Almost through it. There we go. Placed all the way through it. Let's even pry it open with the M9. And we just separated our chain. The M9 saw on it for this type of thing definitely works better than the Russian model. This one has a little bit more of a square cut pattern right here before it starts has an angle on the grind. And this one just has an angle. It's just pretty much continuous for the most part. So we're able to remove a lot more metal a lot faster with the M9 than I could the Russian model. Cool. But I tell you what, since I already did a piece of this chain with the Russian model, let's do it again with the M9 and make it fair. Because I already did a piece out here off camera. So let's do it twice. Alright, here we go. And we're through. Yeah, the saw's pretty effective on the M9 for cutting through some metal. I think it's better suited for metal, obviously, than wood. It's more like a hacksaw than anything else. Alright, cool. Okay, we'll go ahead and do some batoning. We'll go ahead and start with the Russian model. And it's definitely a lot smaller blade. It's a well, it's only shorter about an inch. That's about it. So we'll go ahead and start with the Russian model. Our wooden baton. Alright, here we go. You'll get it wedged in there good, man. Let's continue. Finally. It takes some work. I beat the hell out of the tip area, beat the hell out of back here by the handle, and we finally got through it. Let's try to split it into 2 sections. Here we go. Wiped the shit out of it to do it, but that still looks okay. Not really bad. Alright, cool. Alright, let's try the M9. That one was easier. Let's see. It's definitely easier with the M9. It's just a bigger knife. It's got a bigger, thicker blade on it, a little bit longer. This feels a lot more solid. Tell you what. Do it again. Since I beat on the handle area a lot with the Russian bayonet, I'm going to go ahead and do it on there. Now this one, the Russian bayonet, on this one, the M9, the rifle ring goes over the barrels on top. On this one, it's on the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and see how tough this ring is on here and this rifle ring, so I'm just going to beat on it, doing batoning, and see what it can do. Here we go. So far it looks okay. Well, the ring took some pretty good, the barrel ring put some pretty good hits. May have bent just a little bit, but not much. Still looks okay. Maybe slightly angled a little bit, but not much. But it took some pretty good direct impacts. So it's not too fragile. Alright, awesome. Okay, well, we just got to do the baton with both our Russian bayonet and the M9. It's definitely easier to baton with the M9, that's for sure. Just a bigger, longer, heavier, thicker blade. So I'll give the baton into that. So far, man, the M9's really pretty much coming through. Couldn't even get the bob wire cutter to work on the Russian model. And it worked just fine on the M9. We took some pretty good hits on the ring doing the baton, and bent it just a little bit, not much. And I'm sure it's still usable, I would think. Or it can be probably bent back, but so yeah, it's doing okay so far. So all right, here we go. All right, we'll go ahead and cut just a little bit of rope. Now, these things don't have an edge on them, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. This is some sisal rope, so natural fiber rope, so just go ahead and use the M9 first. See, it's hard to tell to cut through, man. It happens. Just like in Denver, they don't have hardly any edge on them, and this is the way you get them. I'm going to do the Russian model. Again, same thing. Let's go ahead and try the saw on the rope on the back on this. Yeah, cut through some rope with that. Let's try the M9. Anyway, so both the saws will work for cutting some rope, at least this stuff. But yeah, as far as the edges are concerned, man, they just don't come with any type of edge whatsoever. So if anyone does get one, they need to sharpen the hell out of it if they want to cut with it. Because out of the box, they ain't going to do it. Okay, we'll go ahead and do some tip work. We'll start with the M9. Go ahead and see if we can dig a hole through this 2x4, like we always do. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're through. Got it all the way through. The tip on this M9, man, ain't sharp either, man. But it is pretty heavy and thick. Alright, cool. Alright, let's try the M9, the Russian bayonet. Do the same test. Alright, here we go. And this knife's definitely thinner than the M9, but so far it's okay. Tip's still in good shape. Getting close. Alright, we got through it. No tip damage whatsoever. I can feel the blade flexing when I do this, but it's holding. Alright. Awesome, well they both did the job. I think the Russian bayonet did a little more effectively because it has a lot thinner tip on it compared to the Russian model. A thinner, good tip is a lot easier to do with this type of job. But they both did it. So, but I'll give that one to the Russian model. Just a little bit easier to do. All right, cool. All right. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do some sheet metal penetration. We'll work the tip back and forth and see see what, this is the same stuff we've done a lot of the other knives, with the other knives. Pretty heavy gauge stuff. So we'll see how the tips can hold up. We'll go ahead and use the Russian model first. Like I said, we'll stab it in, and then we'll bend it from side to side to see how well the tips can take it. Alright, here we go. Get any penetration with the Russian model. And I'm not getting great penetration, but the tip's holding up to it. It's okay. Yeah, tip's still okay. Alright, here we go. Oh yeah, the tips held up just fine. No breakage or anything. Even though it's pretty thin, but it's holding up. Okay, well the Russian bayonet survived that test okay. I couldn't get very big holes in it, but still we don't have any tip failure. Let's go ahead and try the M9. Alright, here we go. Yeah, no tip breakage. It's got a real heavy, thick tip. I can definitely get more penetration with this one than I can with the Russian model. Knife's definitely a lot heavier. Alright, here we go. Hey man, you really, both of these knives, man, you got these big old heavy mounts for the barrels and shit, and man, you really, your hand slides down once you hit when you're doing this type of work, this impact, so, you gotta kind of choke up on it and hold on. Alright, here we go. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 1 tip breakage, man. That tip is really solid on. It's a heavy tip on this knife. A little more. We're not going to break that tip. It ain't going to happen. Not going to happen. Not doing this type of test. You should hold up to this real easy. Not a problem. Alright, so both of the knives passed this one. Definitely couldn't get much penetration with the Russian model. Got a little more penetration with the M9. And both the tips hold up just fine. No damage whatsoever. Cool. Alright. Alright, so far so good with most of the knives. You get to see some comparisons between them and stuff we're doing. So because now we're gonna start really moving into some toughness tests and see how well they can really hold up. So we'll go ahead and start with the Russian model, and we'll do some hammer impacts on the spine and see how well it holds up. So here we go. Using a 3-pound steel mallet. And so we flattened out the saw on the back, do the hammer impacts. Alright, let's continue on. Let me go over here. Alright. I'm going to use quite a bit of force since we don't have any edge on it. And then they're taking some pretty good blows. Everything on it still feels nice and tight and secure. Let's continue on. I pretty much just ruined our saw, but knife's still together, man. It hasn't broke. It's working. Alright, let's continue on. Here we go. And it's still all together. taking some pretty good blows. Reposition our board. We'll do it one more time. And we'll go to the M9. Alright, here we go. Everything's still together. It feels nice and tight and secure and everything. Just messed up our saw so far. Alright, let's do some more. Let's continue. I don't think it's going to break like that. Giving it some pretty damn good massive hammer blows. Alright. Alright, that one's passed. Alright, let's go ahead and do the M9. Here we go. We removed 3 sections with the of wood with the Russian bayonet. We'll do the same thing with the M9. Alright, same deal, we just flattened out our saw. That's about it. Knife's still together. Alright, 2 more. Last notch. Everything still feels like it's all together. I don't feel anything being loose or anything. This knife is held in by this bolt here on the end. And it's still holding up. So here we go, let's continue. Well, they both held up just fine, other than the sole. Other than we just dinged up the saws, but that's to be expected. But we sure didn't break either knife. Everything still feels nice and tight and secure on them. So far, so good. Okay, we'll go ahead and do some concrete chopping now. We'll go ahead and start with the Russian model. So here we go. Glasses.
Oh, shit,
Okay, now we'll go ahead and try both of them out on the concrete. We'll start with the Russian first. Here we go. See any chipping or anything like that. It was pretty good. We're just denting the edges up. It's alright, here we go. Yeah? So far, so good. Alright, let's continue. And hardly doing any edge damage at all. Still looks good. So far, so good. Let's continue. Yeah, the edge ain't going to chip out on this thing. It's not going to happen. Looks pretty good. Not chopping concrete. It's holding up well. Everything's still real tight on it. Now we may have loosened the handle a little bit. I feel it rocking back and forth a little bit, but not much. Just doesn't have much chopping power, that's the problem. It does it, but in order to really bust those bricks, we just don't have that chopping power. Okay. Let's try the M9. Fresh brick in here. Alright, here we go with the M9. So, Yeah, no edge chipping, just dinning. Here we go. Continue. We knocked our handles loose a little bit. Just a little bit. Definitely just loosened up our handle some. Alright. And you definitely get, I don't see any, there's no chipping or anything in the steel. Not at all. Neither one of the Russian or the M9 are chipping. That's not a lot of damage at all in either one. You can easily grind that out and resharpen it. Okay, now we'll go ahead and try to split these bricks, but we're going to have to use a hammer. The knives aren't heavy enough to do it. So let's go ahead and try the hammer and try to split right through it. Here we go. Alright, still looks okay. Alright, cool. Got a little bit of movement in the handle, but not much. Just kind of tore our saw off a little bit right there where we flattened it out. Alright, well we just messed up the saw really. The edge doesn't have hardly any damage. And so it's not bad. Alright, let's repeat this test with the M9. Still looks okay. Alright, now we're both tied up pretty well. Like I said, it only really damages the saw from the hammer impacts. We've loosened up both the handles a little bit. Not much. So far, yeah, they're pretty damn tough. That's for sure. Alright, cool. Okay, now we'll go ahead and drive the tip and try to break this concrete block apart. We'll go ahead and start with the M9. Now, the M9's got a metal butt on the back, and the Russian model doesn't. So, we'll see how well the Russian model is going to take that type of work. But here, we'll start with the M9. Here we go. Oh man, brake's effective. And it's got a nice surface on here to hit. Nice flat surface. Alright, let's go ahead and try the Russian model now and see what happens on this plastic. Maybe it'll take it, maybe it won't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Let's find out. Yeah, it took it. Didn't do any damage. So far it's holding up good. Now, we split it right here, just coming apart. It almost looks like they glued it all together right here, but it's not breaking or cracking, it's just the two pieces there where they put one slab on one side, one slab on the other. Kind of looks like it's been glued, but it's just coming apart a little bit. But it's still taking some pretty good weld. It's not shattering and falling apart. Alright, let's continue. There it goes. I have no idea what that material is. Alright. Man, whatever this stuff is, man, it sure does stink. What is it? Is it some type of wood or what? It is wood. I thought it was plastic. Interesting. Well, we still split a brick with it, even though we did more damage. But it still did its job, I guess. Alright, cool. Okay, we'll go ahead and do a body weight test. We have a knife mounted in about 1 inch from the grind where it begins. And go ahead and put all my 225 pounds of body weight on it. Well, here we go. Yeah, it's just going to bend down. That's good. Okay, we'll go ahead and do a body weight test. I got the Got the Russian model in here. So the blade's kind of thin on this one, so let's see if what'll happen. Here we go. Never know till we try. Here we go. Got all my weight off the ground. 220 pounds. 225 pounds. Bounce up and down on it. See what happens if it goes back straight. Look at that. Let's do it again. And we're bottoming out on the board. Let's see if I'm bouncing on it. No, we're not. Supporting all my weight. Bounce up, down on it. Feels pretty secure, man. Goes back straight. Do it one more time. We'll move it up to second position. Got all both feet off the ground. And bottoming out on the board right there. Supporting all my weight. Alright, cool. Alright. First position's okay. Let's move it up to second position. Alright, let's let it down. Alright, we moved out about another ½ inch. Let's see what happens. Here we go. And we just bottomed out. Bottomed out. Get my foot in a little heavier. Comes back straight. It's supporting on my weight in this position right here. Not quite bottomed out. It's supporting on my load until I'm bottomed out and I'm bouncing. Wow. Let's see what happens. And he goes back straight. Pretty awesome, man. Let's do it again. One more time for safety. Doesn't. Well, we're bottomed out there. Let's see. At that position, we're supporting all my weight. Won't break. Alright, awesome, man. Now we'll go ahead and try the M9, and we got it mounted in here. Roughly, the configuration is a little different on this knife than the Russian model. So the grind actually starts about right up here where my finger is. So I figure that's about fair to the Russian knife, where we started in the first position, roughly. So the edge is still being exposed here. It's not under the block. So we got about a ½ inch of the edge right here, and then we have a lot of we have about another inch back here on this. So, but I usually try to put it an inch where the grind starts. But since the configurations are different, this is where I'm going to put it. So here we go. See if the M9 can beat the Russian. Feels pretty strong. Got both feet off the ground. Bouncing up and down on it. That feels real secure, man. Bouncing up and down on it. Feels pretty tough in that position, man. It's definitely due to the thickness, man, and everything. It's got a lot more support than the Russian model had. Alright, it's good in that position. Let's move it out to the second. Alright, back in the second position, moved it out about another ½ inch roughly. Here we go. Supporting all my weight, 225 pounds off the ground. Feels really good and secure. Bouncing up and down. Comes back straight. It ain't gonna break, man. Do it one more time just to make sure. Awesome, man.
Let's park the truck on it.
I go get it, man. Alright, man. Well, shit. Okay, well, they both survived that test. Now, laterally, the M9 is definitely is stronger, but you definitely saw that the Russian has some good flexibility, man. You're still able to support it, has some good flexibility. So, man, so far so good. Both of them have done actually pretty well. There's some differences, but they're still together, man. Pretty cool. Alright. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do a flex test. We got the M9 in the vise, about 1.5 inches from the tip. I usually just put it where the tip barely sticks through the ends of the bottom of the jaws. So here we go, let's do a flex test. Just using my human strength. Here we go.
Do about 30. Between 20 and 30.
It's pretty strong, man. Still going back straight. I can't bend it anymore without putting a pipe on it. But I just want to, I always do it with human strength only, so I don't want to cheat. There we go. What are we getting to?
About 30.
Blade's still straight.
That one's about 40.
Alright, man, it's pretty strong. Let's go ahead and try the Russian. Alright, here we go. You can quite go back straight. It's a pretty thin blade compared to the M9. Oh, just broke it. Took a pretty good flex though. But we broke it at the broke it where the bob wire cutter is. Probably if that wouldn't have been there, it probably wouldn't have broke. Well, so we broke the Russian one first. Still was pretty flexible though, and took a pretty good flex before it finally did snap. And in the second position caught all the body weight. So it's not too bad. Did pretty well. And it's a pretty thin blade, you know, so didn't do too bad. Well, we still have our M9 together, so we'll continue on with that. Okay, I have some 1.5" by 1/8" steel, mild steel stock. So we'll go ahead and take the M9 and see if we can hammer through the steel without it breaking. Here we go. Brother. Yeah. Let's see. A piece of metal. One of the other broken knives. There we go.
Still recording. Can we cut?
No. Okay, here we go. See if we can get through it. There you go. Steered right through it. Knife still together.
To the edge.
Yeah, one more time. Let's try it again. Here we go. Whew. Taking some damn good impacts. It's holding together very well. Haven't torn out the edge or anything like that. Here we go. And there it went. And we finally broke it. Pull back, stand back. Finally got it. Almost got through the metal the second time. But finally broke here at the tang. Look how this doesn't have much of a tang right here. It comes down to this channel and then it just comes over to this. See if we can get this out. Get that out. I'll have to get it out and post some pictures later. Damn, too bad the knife was had that little bitty tiny tang on it right there. But it probably would have gone pretty a lot further. But we found his weak spot, and that's what we do when you hammer through it. You will find a weak spot. And we found it. Alright, well there you have it, man. Our first head-to-head competition. This is America versus the Russian, man. The American bayonet definitely won the contest. Even though the Russian didn't do too bad at all. We finally broke it on the flex test. And then, of course, we finally broke the M9 on the. We were trying to hammer through the metal. We got through it the first time, and then we broke it the second time. Just didn't have much of a tang on it. Just has a very, very narrow tang, man. I mean, that thing doesn't look more than maybe a little more than a quarter inch, if that. It's very, very narrow. We both did pretty well, and hell, we got through the body weight test. So. I wasn't sure about that, but even the Russian held up fine on the body weight test. It flexed a lot more. It doesn't have the same amount. It flexes a lot more. It's not as stiff and rigid as the M9, but it still supported the weight, and as well as the M9 did also, yeah, it did pretty well. See, we did the barbed wire cutting at first. We did this test a little bit different. We did some barbed wire cutting at first to test that out. And hell, I can't get the barbed wire cutter to work on the Russian one. I just couldn't get it to work, man. I gave it everything I had, and the barbed wire that I had, man, it just wasn't going to cut it. I couldn't even really, all I could do was barely dent it. Now, the M9 is a bayonet cutter. Shit, yeah, it did great, man. It didn't take much effort or anything to shear right through that barbed wire. Now I just got to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with all that barbed wire I bought. I got to find some use for it. I got like 1,000 feet, man. It was like the smallest damn roll they had. Anyways, yeah, they both did pretty tough. They took hammer impacts pretty effectively. They didn't break. Like I said, neither one of them were going to cut very well. They didn't have any type of edge on them at all. So, if you put a good edge on them, you can probably get some. You can definitely get some good performance out of them. I'm sure you can, but as they are, this is the way they came, and that's usually the way I test them here when I do the destruction test. We kind of test them as is. I got to the batoning. It was a bitch to kind of baton with both of them, actually. But the M9 came through on that. It was definitely easier on the M9. You can see we cut some metal we cut some chain link with the saw. Got through it with a Russian, no problem. Cut through the chain with the M9. And M9 has a better saw for that. Neither one of the saws do like super great on wood. I mean, you can make little notches in them or something, but but on metal they actually work pretty effectively. They're kind of more like a hacksaw, so we're able to saw through a piece of 1/4 inch chain link and separate the chain with both of them. I'd say the saw is a little bit better on the M9 than on the Russian. So yeah, other than that, got through the concrete chopping, did fine. Both the steels are extremely chip resistant, man. They're pretty damn chip resistant there. So they didn't have any problem with the concrete, neither one. Hammered through the concrete, drove the tip in the concrete. Yeah, I thought the handle was plastic on it. I mean, it sure looked like plastic, but actually it's some type of wood or particle board or something. I don't know what it is. And it looks like they epoxied it or lacquered it up or whatever, so it kind of gives it the appearance of a plastic. But actually it's some type of fibrous wood or something. It kind of looks like a particle board. I don't know what they use over there in Russia. So yeah, other than that, they didn't do too bad, but I have to definitely say the M9 is definitely a much more functional, usable tool than the Russian. Easily. With no problems. So alright, there you have it. First head-to-head. Maybe we get to do some more. It's kind of interesting to be able to do them head-to-head like this where you can see both of them go up against each other. So there you have it from knifetest.com. So long.